Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our English Learning Podcast. My name's Jimmy, and I'm here with my co-host, Sarah. Today, we're going to talk about a very powerful idea, taking responsibility for your life. That means learning the difference between owning your actions and blaming others. This topic is really important not only for improving your mindset, but also for helping you grow as a person. And of course, we'll do it using simple English to help you learn as you listen.
Hi everyone. I'm so happy to be here with you today. This is such a meaningful topic because many people feel stuck in life. They feel unhappy or like things never go their way. But often, the real reason is that they are blaming others for their problems instead of taking ownership. So today, Jimmy and I will help you understand what it really means to take responsibility and how it can change your life. And remember, while you listen, you're also improving your English. It's a win-win.
Yes, exactly. Before we start, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon so you never miss an episode. We're here every week with new English lessons through stories, conversations, and life topics that matter.
All right, let's dive in. So, Jimmy, let me ask you, what does it mean to you when someone takes responsibility for their life?
Good question. For me, taking responsibility means that you accept that you are in control of your choices, your reactions, and your actions. It doesn't mean you control everything that happens around you. No one does. But it does mean that you decide how to respond. When you take responsibility, you stop saying things like, "It's not my fault," or "I can't do anything about it." Instead, you start saying, "What can I learn from this?" or "What can I do next to improve this situation?"
That's so true, and I think the problem is that many people are stuck in the habit of blaming. They blame their parents, their job, their past, or even luck. But when we blame, we actually give away our power. We act like victims. We say, "This happened to me, and I can't do anything about it." But when we take ownership, we say, "This happened, and now I will choose how to respond." That is a big difference.
Yes, blame is easy. It feels good in the moment because it takes the pressure off. You don't have to admit that maybe you made a mistake. But in the long run, blame keeps you weak. If you always blame others, you can never grow. You never look inside and say, "What can I do better?" And that's the first step to a better life.
Exactly. And even in small situations, we can practice this. For example, imagine you're always late to work. If you say, "It's the traffic," or "My alarm didn't go off," then you're blaming something else. But if you say, "I didn't leave the house early enough," then you are owning your action. That's how we grow. And when we speak like this with honesty and responsibility, even your relationships improve.
That's such a good point. I've also learned that when you take responsibility, people respect you more. They trust you. They feel like you are a strong person. Not because you never make mistakes, but because you can admit them. It also helps with your self-esteem. When you take charge of your life, you start to feel confident. You start to believe, "I can change things. I can make better choices." And that belief can truly change everything.
Yes, and let's also talk about fear. Sometimes people don't want to take responsibility because they're afraid. They are afraid of being wrong, afraid of failing, afraid of feeling guilty. But here's the truth. Everyone fails sometimes. Everyone makes mistakes. The difference between strong people and weak people is this. Strong people say, "Yes, I failed, but I will learn and try again." Weak people say, "It wasn't my fault," and stop trying.
So powerful, Sarah. You're right. And listeners, this is not about being perfect. We are not telling you to never mess up. We're saying, when you do mess up, because you will, take responsibility. Say, "Okay, this didn't go well, but I accept what happened and now I will take action." This attitude builds strength, character, and a better life.
And here's another important thing. When you take responsibility, it helps you become more independent. You stop waiting for other people to solve your problems. You start saying, "What can I do?" That's when your life starts to change. You become the driver, not the passenger. You stop waiting for the perfect time or the perfect help, and you just start moving forward, one small step at a time.
That's a great way to put it. You become the driver of your life. And to all our English learners out there, think about this in your own life. Is there something you keep blaming others for?
maybe it's time to ask yourself, what part of this can I take responsibility for? Even if it's just one small piece, it's a start. Responsibility isn't about guilt. It's about growth.
I love that. Responsibility isn't about guilt, it's about growth. That's a quote I want to write down. And by the way, listeners, if this conversation is helpful, please give us a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us make more content for you every week.
Yes, and in the second part of this episode, we're going to go deeper. We'll talk about real-life examples of what ownership looks like and how you can practice it every day, even in simple moments. So don't go anywhere, stay with us, and let's keep learning together.
So, like we were saying, taking responsibility is something you can practice every day. And it doesn't always have to be big or dramatic. It starts with the small things. For example, if you say you're going to meet a friend at 5 and you show up late, don't make excuses. Just say, "I'm sorry I was late. I didn't plan my time well." That simple sentence shows maturity and respect. And you know what? Most people will appreciate your honesty more than a long excuse.
Yes, that's so true. I've seen this at work too. People who take responsibility are usually the ones who get promoted. Because when there's a problem, they don't hide or blame others. They say, "Let's fix it." That kind of attitude is powerful. And this idea doesn't just help in work or relationships. It also helps with personal goals. Let's say you want to get healthier. Instead of blaming your schedule or saying, "I don't have time," take ownership. Maybe you can start with just 10 minutes a day. That's a small step, but it comes from a powerful place, from responsibility.
Exactly. And it's also about being honest with yourself. Sometimes we lie to ourselves because the truth is uncomfortable. We say, "I didn't get that job because the company was unfair," but maybe we didn't prepare well enough. Or we say, "I'm not good at English," but we haven't really been practicing. Taking responsibility means looking in the mirror and saying, "What can I do differently next time?" That's how we grow. That's how we improve.
Yes, and I want to say something to our listeners, especially those who are learning English with us. You are already taking a big step by being here, by listening, and by trying. That shows you're someone who takes ownership of your learning. It's easy to say, "English is hard," or "I'll never speak like a native speaker." But it's more powerful to say, "I may not be perfect yet, but I'm improving." That's the mindset of someone who takes responsibility for their journey.
That's a beautiful message, Jimmy. And listeners, we know life can be hard. Sometimes bad things happen that really are out of your control, like losing a job, getting sick, or having family problems. We're not saying that everything is your fault, but we are saying that even in those difficult moments, you still have a choice. You can choose your response. You can choose to rise, to learn, to keep going. That is the real power of responsibility.
Yes, and let's be honest, it's not always easy. Sometimes you'll feel tired or angry or like giving up, but that's when responsibility becomes even more important. When things are hard, that's when you need to say, "I won't give up. I will find a way forward." That's how people achieve great things, not because life was easy, but because they refused to blame and instead decided to act.
I want to share something personal, if that's okay. A few years ago, I was really unhappy with my life. I was working at a job I didn't like, I wasn't healthy, and I kept feeling like I was stuck. I used to blame everything, my boss, my family, my situation. But one day I read something that changed me. It said, "You are not a tree. If you don't like where you are, move." That hit me so hard, I realized that I was waiting for someone else to change my life. But no one was coming. I had to be the one to do it.
Wow, thank you for sharing that, Sarah. That's really powerful. And I think many people feel that way, stuck, lost, or tired of where they are. But your story is a great example of what happens when you stop blaming and start owning your life. And now look, you're helping others. You're speaking to thousands of people, and you're doing what you love. That didn't happen by accident. It happened because you took responsibility.
Yes, and it started with one decision. I just said, "I'm going to take small steps." I started learning new skills, I started exercising again, and slowly things got better. Not perfect, but better. And that's what we want our listeners to understand. You don't need to change everything today, but start. Just start.
Exactly. And start with your words. Language is powerful. Pay attention to how you speak. Do you say, I can't, or I'll try? Do you say, it's not my fault, or how can I fix this? Your words shape your thoughts, and your thoughts shape your actions. And remember, this also helps with your English. When you speak with responsibility, you sound more confident, more clear. So keep practicing, keep improving.
And take responsibility for your English learning too. Don't say, I'm bad at English. Say, I'm learning. I'm getting better. Watch English videos, listen to podcasts, speak when you can, even if you make mistakes. That's how you grow. And if you're watching this podcast, you are already doing great. You're showing up. That's the first and most important step.
So true. And we want to thank all of you for listening today. We hope this episode helped you not just learn English, but also reflect on your own life. Responsibility is not about being perfect. It's about being honest, strong, and willing to grow. And we believe in you.
We really do. And if this podcast helped you today, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Tell us, what's one area of your life where you are ready to take more responsibility? We love hearing your stories, and we're here to support you on your journey.
Yes, let's keep growing together. Every week we bring you new topics, real conversations, and simple English you can use in real life. So stay tuned, keep practicing, and remember, your life is your responsibility. You have more power than you think.
Take care, everyone, and until next time, stay strong, stay kind, and take ownership of your journey. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone. See you in the next episode.